child abuse. Just saying the word is hard. And how do we stop that? How do we become advocates for these children? Well, my next guest, Marta Nater, wrote a book called Villains for Justice. And this is a very personal story to you. Marta, I'm glad that you're here. And I know this is going to be an emotional time together.
Yes.
So we appreciate you being real and raw. Would you just share a little bit about your story and why you wrote the book?
Okay, Villains for Justice is a book published by Doris Publishers, and it has to do with good villains, um, good citizens, my correction, turning villains. And what they do is they fight against the justice system, against child abuse. It's to take a stand.
Mm-hmm. Because this is personal. You went through it. Would you share as much as you're comfortable sharing?
Okay, when I was very young, I me and my siblings we went through child abuse, and it was horrific. Let me tell you, very, and not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. And child protection services were called several times, but all they did was come, speak to my dad. They wrote, write whatever, never even spoke to us. Turn around and left. Never helped us once, not once. And because of their lack of investigation into our home, we kept suffering a horrific abuse. And this is all the way throughout teens.
And no one took you aside and said, Marta, what's going on? No one took you one-on-one. They just listened to your dad. They came, interviewed your dad, investigated, took his word for it, and that was it.
Yeah, because what happened was there were so many of us. So what my dad would use the excuse to say, well, you know what? There's so many of them. They fight against each other, and that's why the bruises are coming. And they would actually believe that line. Not once did they take us to the side and tell us, hey, what's going on?
You had no one to turn to.
No one. No one. No one would believe us.
And your mom, she was afraid of your dad?
She was afraid. I feel like she didn't know any better. She didn't know any English. And so I guess she felt, I'm in America, I'm stuck here. If he leaves me with all these children, I think that's what was going through her mind. So she didn't do nothing. She would just, every time we get hit and we had all these bruises, she would come and, put the Band-Aids and everything. But that's about it.
And when you talk about all these children, we're talking about 8 boys and 3 girls. I mean,
Yes.
it was a house full of children.
Yes.
It must have just been complete chaos with the physical, emotional, and sexual abuse that was going on.
It was. Well, the sexual abuse only happened with me. It didn't happen
Marta.
with my sisters. It was just me. It was just me.
And now you deal with this as an adult moving forward, having your own family.
It's hard because it takes a lot from you. It takes a whole lot. So you never forget.
Of course not.
But, I learned to survive it. Hard as it was, I rose above it.
It's an incredible thing that you've done. You're so strong and so brave. Enough that you wrote a book and you put your heart out there. You're completely vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And you do this because you were motivated by a story back in 2013, weren't you?
Gabriel Fernandez. That story is heartbreaking to me. It was a Netflix original, and I didn't see it because I didn't want to snap. Yeah. But my son and my sister saw it, and they regret seeing it because to my sister it brings back memories.
Sure.
And this little boy, he had nobody. He was abused time after time. Child protection services did nothing. They believed the mother and her boyfriend. And I did research, and badly, it led to his death, the beating. And child services.
One thing that we've talked about in the past was taking a child aside. What would have made a difference to you, Marta? What could a person, a teacher, Someone at a grocery store. What could someone have done for you to make a difference?
It would have made a big difference if somebody had cared enough to do something. I'm just hearing all of us, not just one, but each one of us, and see what's going on. I mean, there's always a way. And if there's something I learned, is that it's not just to talk to the child, because sometimes they're scared to speak. But if you look into their eyes, you know, you know the truth. You know what's going on.
We are obligated to do something,
Yes,
and we can do this anonymously. Is that right?
yes, we can. Yes, we can. We have to call Child Protective Services and let them know. Demand it. Demand it. Not just to say, just I suspect or whatever. No, this is happening. You need to take the child to the side and talk to him or her, and look into the eyes. It says a lot. It says a lot.
Ask them, talk to them.
Yes.
Villains for Justice, Marta Nater. I want to encourage you to purchase this book
Yeah.
and give Marta a rating. You know what? It would mean so much reaching out to her, making contact. We're going to give you contact information of how you can reach Marta. And we want to encourage you also to go ahead and rate the book, because the more ratings it gets, the more attention, the more people
Yes.
know it's being engaged
Mm-hmm.
with. And Marta, why is this message so important to get out?
Well, because we want to give the children of America, they're the future. We gotta look out for them. Somebody has to. I wish somebody cared when it was back in our times. And it's not just me. There are a lot of people who's been abused. Child protective services gave them their back and they became monsters. And I thank God that didn't happen to us.
Marta, thank you for your bravery. You are loved. And thank you for sharing this message so that we maybe just one of us could make a difference in a child's life that we come across.
That's true. That's true. But thank you for giving me the chance to express myself and bring this to light. We can do a
Absolutely.
lot more. We can do a lot more.
We sure can. Thank you, Marta.
Thank you.